Welcome to my channel. I decided to make a very popular video, how many pumpkins. I think that at the end of October it's perfect time for this tag because I color pumpkins every October and this month wasn't an exception, but now I feel that I'm really tired of orange colors and I think that during November, December and next months I won't be touching my orange colors at all, but October was productive and now I definitely have many pumpkins to count. So let's start from this giant. It's Dragon Tales by Anastasia Koldereva. It's a very old work, but I'm still proud of this pumpkin because it was made with watercolors. And honestly, I would count this pumpkin as a probably as a 2 because of the size, but apart from this big pumpkin, which I did completely with watercolors, and even if shading looks a little bit dirty, I'm still proud that I managed to show volume of it and even a little bit of light inside of it. So here we have one giant and couple of tiny pumpkins as the decorations on the head. Head probably is my favorite part of this picture, so we put 3 in our count. That's probably my only pumpkin which I did with watercolors. Next, very quickly, Matchstick Mouse. I know that you are tired of my Matchstick Mouse books in every video, but surprisingly I have only one pumpkin. I was surprised myself, and that's basket made from pumpkin, and we put 1 for Matchstick Mouse. Honestly, I was surprised that I have only 1 here. Maybe I need to do something until the end of the month with pumpkin and then to forget about them for a long time. Next, let's have a look at this giant book. Maybe I need to adjust my camera again. It's a relatively rare book. Here I did 2 pictures at all, and on the second I have pumpkins. Honestly, when I started to color it, I wasn't sure how I want to turn it into a winter picture with those pine trees or into autumn picture. In the end, I decided to experiment with the background. I used brown orange shades of Neocolor crayons, and after this background, yeah, of course, Halloween and autumn was more suitable theme, so I think now that it's an autumn picture. And here we have 3 pumpkins, tiny, but still we count everything. And yeah, now when I look at this book, maybe I need to color something here because paper is great and I love both pictures which I did here, and yeah, it doesn't deserve to be abandoned. Next one, I have this Fairy Tales by Tomoka Tashiro, a book where I struggle with paper because it's a paper which doesn't like any water-soluble materials, and pencils, well, sometimes I also had problems with blending, but the biggest problem is how to do background. And that's why on this picture, where I intended to color the whole spread and to do all pumpkins, I did only 2 of them, and then my patience was totally run out. So because of this dark background where I struggled a lot, I did only half of it, and I don't know if I return to the second part. Good thing that I have video for all my pictures, so if I need to do the right side, I will be able to watch what colors I used for pumpkins here. I remember that I wanted to finish it so badly that I even didn't use my Posca pens. Usually my favorite Posca for pumpkins is this pastel orange, very helpful if you want to get rid of the lines. Sometimes I also add this pastel yellow for the more highlighted part, or if I do pumpkin in more yellow colors. So that's my must-have. But here I can see that I really was tired of the page, tired of this awful background. So we put 2 pumpkins in the list and we forget about it. Next, let's have a look at Jasmine Griffith. First, here I have one of my favorite pictures. I absolutely love this Alena in autumn. And here we have 4 pumpkins. Yeah, some of them are only partly visible, but I think that it was when I started to use more dark colors for shading between the elements of the pumpkins or for the shadows between them. I started to experiment a little bit by adding light yellow-green colors for the highlighted parts. So this one was really good. And again, I am surprised that I didn't color more pumpkins here. So, but the rest of my autumn pictures, they are somehow without pumpkins. But I have Halloween book and this page where I experimented with various pencil brands on one page. On the first one, I think that I used Arteza. So this jack-o'-lantern is made with Arteza. And this one was made with polychromos. I deliberately tried to use slightly different color palette, experimenting for myself how pumpkin would look in more yellow and more orange-brown colors. And we have 2 more pumpkins and all my bookmarks. Now let's have a look at probably my best pumpkins. You know that I absolutely love this paper in Cottages by Vladislava Schaffer-Hans, and I love how polychromos behave here. So I did this spread with various colors of pumpkins, totally with polychromos pencils. I will leave you a link to this video because I really think that they are my best pumpkins. And here I have example of orange and yellow-green pumpkins, and that's probably my favorite because it's in the same time it looks 3-dimensional with nice highlight on top, and I managed to show each of the segments and then shadow beneath. So that's what for me is the most challenging part of coloring pumpkins, that you need to show this shadow between the segments and also more highlighted upper part than shadow part near the this green area, and then a darker area where it's laying on the ground. So a lot of shading to show properly volume, and I think that all 4 pumpkins, they look 3-dimensional, and I do love leaves here. Next we go to Kanoka Iguza, and in Rhapsody my books start to fall. Okay, let me adjust my camera, I think that it will be better. And here I have this mandala. How many pumpkins? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where I started? I'm so stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pumpkins just from one page. And even if it's very old, I'm still proud of myself, but not of pumpkins, but more of these witch hats. They are tiny, but I still managed to show shadows and highlights on them. But I think that it's not my merit, but more of Kanoka Iguza and her amazing line art. This one, it was so popular that everyone colored it, this one, maybe except for myself. And I colored it with my eyes. You know this problem when you saw already so many beautiful pictures that you don't know how to color it originally by yourself. So that's why this poor page suffer. Now it's less popular, so maybe in a year I also will color it. And we go to Menuet. Sorry, it's nude because I put dust cover aside. When I work in the book, I put aside the dust cover. And here I have two pictures. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, they are small, but we have to be honest. And I think that for this huge spread, it's okay to put 6 pumpkins in the list. I think that I don't have any more of them here, but this dog, he has pumpkins on sale, so we count them. And the second page with pumpkins. It's another very old work. I suffered for a couple of years when everyone colored pumpkins and I didn't have any coloring books with pumpkins. I had only one with bats, so that was all I did for Halloween. Then I received this Kanoko Yakuza books and I was crazy happy that I also can join this pumpkin madness. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, it was fun to count all of them in the end. Here everything I did with Prismacolors, I believe, but on the background I also added color softs. I got this book, I got Prismacolors for the first time. It was my first set. I was mesmerized by their pastel colors, and I still love this one, even if now I would prefer to mask majority of the black lines, but I am glad that at least I added shadows on the bottom part of the pumpkins, or where one is hidden behind the other, so pumpkins which are in front are a little bit lighter and they are highlighted from top. So at least I started to think about lights and shadows, even if it's very old work. And finally we have Symphony. Sorry, it's also without cover by the same reason, because I currently have a work in progress here. And pumpkins I have on only one page, but they are lovely because I experimented again with orange and green pumpkins. I used a lot of jasmine together with green ochre for this one, and then I added marine green, but somehow I struggled with paper on this page, and Prismacolors blended better on top, and here they felt a little bit scratchy. The paper in this book, it's still mystery for me, so I don't know why I had problems with blending, but I remember my disappointment. And also my Posca pens also don't want to work on this printing paint, publishing paint. So even on this very delicate line, sometimes I have problems with masking. So these pumpkins, they look a little bit rotten, scratchy. I don't know how to explain, so they are not best, but I'm glad that I started to experiment with bigger color palettes, and we put 6 into our list. Next I have Beauty of Horror Halloween edition. Here I have 2 pumpkins. Of course, the background is much more interesting comparing to these pumpkins. They are nothing special, but background is shiny. And on this matte black acrylic, all those shining green and blue, they really look quite interesting. So, upper part is more interesting rather than the bottom part. I tried to make them as a wicked jack-o'-lanterns. So 2 of them here. I wanted to do this page during this year, but somehow I don't feel like I want to color everything. Something very dark during this Halloween. I totally not in the mood. We have enough of horror in real life. So this Halloween I prefer nice sweet pictures, nice sweet landscapes with beautiful buildings decorating with pumpkins, not horror pictures. Maybe later. And now we start a huge marathon of pumpkin pictures, because in Teresa Goodrich Creative Heaven books I did a lot of them. and this year wasn't an exception. Let's start from Autumn Scenes, my first book, where I did many pumpkins with various materials. And even this one page, it gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pumpkins. I think that my final amount, it will be enormous. I really was surprised myself when I started to collect books and trying to remember where I did pumpkins. I was surprised how many of them I did. Because autumn, it's not my favorite season. I much more prefer to do winter pictures, but still somehow, maybe that's because I color already for many years. So let's count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 again. Okay, I recorded it, and let me admire it for a moment because it's one of my favorite autumn pictures which I finished in Teresa Goodrich books. This one I did with Inktense pencils. Nothing special here, but I wanted to test Inktense on this paper and I did it. And on this res I did pumpkins with Derwent drawings. You can clearly see it for much more muted, more natural colors. And how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 from just one res. Then we have this card with 3 pumpkins, because when I colored I counted these strange things as green pumpkins. We have 3. Honestly, here I much more love my red barn and those yellow trees rather than this card. Not all of the vegetables went perfectly well, but that's how I practice. And that's another page which I did with Inktense. This time it's much more vibrant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. Actually, it's not bad. So Inktense, they could be used for these pictures if you feel that the style of the picture is compatible with brightness of Inktense pencils. I wanted to do this one this year, but I think that it will have to wait another year. I'm honestly slightly tired of orange colors and pumpkins. And that's another one which I love, but again, not because of pumpkins. Here, masking of the black lines wasn't very successful and they look flat, not three-dimensional. Here I love window and bench, but we count 4 pumpkins and we move to the next book. Here in A Village Charm, on my first picture which I did in this book, we have how many? 6. Okay. No, not 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Crazy, totally crazy. No, 2 more. Let's start to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, that's probably the record amount of pumpkins from just one page. But of course for the autumn harvest it's totally acceptable. It's good that I don't have to count mushrooms or apples. But that's not all, because this year I did another picture here and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even in Country Kitchen Charm I managed to do pumpkins. Here 2. Maybe I won't be counting them because I'm not sure if they are pumpkins, but I considered them pumpkins when I colored them. At least on the next page we definitely have pumpkins. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that Teresa shares my love to pumpkins. I won't be counting this one on the decoration. It's a lovely work from the last year, and I think that it was interesting to do. Mostly I did it because I wanted to try various colors for the wood, but the autumn decoration also is quite nice. And finally, Autumn Charm, my current autumn book. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12. I think that in the end I will have problems with summarizing everything. Next one of my favorite pictures in the book. 3 more pumpkins. Okay, moderate amount. And my recently finished Halloween picture, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I think that in the end I will call myself Crazy Pumpkin Lady. Let's add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pumpkins. I think that the final amount will be totally enormous. Now, after portion of Teresa Goodrich book, we move to a romantic country. Here, fortunately, in book number 1 I have only one autumn picture, but it gives me 5 Halloween pumpkins. Okay, let me put it on the list. 5. Again, quite shiny. And here, not so much, but on this huge spread with witches shops. Only 2 of them. Okay. No more here. So we put 2 pumpkins on the list. In my final book, where I managed to remember about pumpkin pictures, it's Clara Markova. For now I have here 2 pumpkins, but until the end of the month probably the amount will change, because currently I work on the huge Halloween spread, and here we have more pumpkins. But it's the story for the next time. Okay, in the moment I will return to you and I will tell you the final amount of my finished pumpkins. And the final amount of colored pumpkins is indeed crazy. It's 171 finished pumpkin. And we still count, because as I said, I hope to finish until the end of the month 1 more picture with pumpkins. It was a nice point in my autumn coloring, because in November maybe I do a couple of autumn pictures, but I am ready to do a yearly Christmas start, because I have huge amount of Christmas pictures which I never have time to color. So probably no more pumpkins for this year, but it was really fun to count all my works from previous years, and I'm very grateful to the creator of this tag. I hope that you also laughed a little bit, and yeah, now I am officially a crazy pumpkin lady. Have a nice weekend, and I will see you very soon.